Coming up on Carolina Week, the team is home and the season is over. We'll take a look at some of UNC's most memorable highlights.
9 Duke University students are staging a sit-in because of the actions of several administrators.
Students at a local school are learning the importance of saying ni hao. All that and more.
Carolina Week starts right now.
From the UNC School of Journalism and Mass Communication, covering Carolina in HD, this is Carolina Week.
The basketball Blues are hitting hard in Chapel Hill following the loss against Villanova. Good evening, I'm Ben Smart.
And I'm Sharon Nunn. We begin tonight with the highlights from the big game and the aftermath in Chapel Hill. For that, we go live to Luis Fernandez, the scene of so many exciting moments this season. Luis, has the blue fog lifted down there?
Hey, Sharon. Yeah, things are definitely better here, but whew, was that rough. Gut-wrenching, heartbreaking. There's just some words to describe the loss to Villanova. But you know what? Let's do this together, everyone. Let's go ahead and take a deep breath. We'll rip it off like a Band-Aid. Let's look at these highlights. Ready? Go.
Joel Berry was locked in from the perimeter, scoring 15 first-half points for the Tar Heels. The Wildcats ended the half with a buzzer beater from Phil Booth, cutting the UNC lead to 5 going into the break. Marcus Page carried Carolina in the second half, scoring a game-high 21 points. But Villanova refused to go down as Booth knocked down another 3. Just when it seemed the Wildcats had pulled away, Bryce Johnson led the Heels on a 10-3 run to make it a 1-point game. In the closing seconds, Page knocked down a ridiculous shot from distance to tie the game. Even the GOAT was impressed. Nova drove down the court, and Chris Jenkins, with ice in his veins, buried the game-winning 3 to give Villanova its second national championship.
It hurt bad, you know. But the sun still rose, the earth's still spinning, life goes on. Even with the loss, what a team, what a season. Let's go ahead and look back on one of the most loved Carolina basketball teams of all time.
Just like the crowd of fans outside the Dean Smith Center. A day after the college basketball national championship, they waited for their team, reflecting on a season that was far from perfect. UNC started the season number 1, a senior-led squad that would be hard to top, but injury and a Cinderella changed all that.
Number 1 has been upset today.
Then came a clash of top 10s in Chapel Hill. Carolina got its heart. The train was back on its tracks. Records were set.
Page with his second 3. That makes him the all-time three-point leader in Carolina history.
A dominant force emerged.
And off to Johnson, who dunks it home in traffic. Woo, baby, 32 for Bryce Johnson.
And sophomores made their mark. Then came the stumble. Louisville, Notre Dame, Virginia, Duke. Here come the critics. Are they tough enough? Do they care? Should Roy even be coaching? You know what shuts them up? Winning. Win at Cameron Indoor? Check. ACC regular season title? Check. ACC tournament title? Check. All that remained, 6 more games between Carolina and eternal glory. The wins came. No one could control Bryce Johnson. Marcus Page returned to form. The defense was unbelievable. They were going to do it. After scandals, heartbreak, and loss, the senior class was going to get the ending they deserved. It was destiny. Until 4, 3, 2, 1.
The national champions with Jenkins hitting the winner at the buzzer.
It wasn't. Fairy tales aren't real. Not everyone gets their happily ever after. But you know what is real? Loyalty, pride, love. So sure, it wasn't perfect. But with this season, with this group, it was never really about basketball. It was about healing and returning to the Carolina way.
Even though Carolina students are devastated, plenty are pretty proud of this team.
After that shot, that unforgettable shot by Marcus Page, I think all the life came out of me.
They just took it away from us.
I was hoping that the ball was still in his hands when the buzzer went off.
And we switched channels to listen to Roy talk, and we kind of just try to let it sink in of what really happened.
I barely saw the shot at all, and all of a sudden it was over. We just kind of sat there for 10 minutes or so, just didn't say anything, just watched the TV in silence.
I mean, we beat out everyone else except one team, so still really proud of them, and it was a really exciting March.
Yeah, even though we lost, I'm still proud of the team. So
We succeeded this year, to say the least.
You know, Carolina fans, I know it's tough. It hurts, right here. But you got to remember, it's just a game. Sports are for fun. So remember perspective. And, if you felt bad, Sharon, imagine how the basketball players felt after that shot went in.
Yeah, it still hurts me to watch that, but everyone really, really loves those boys. Thanks, Lewis, live at the Dean Dome.
Despite the Tar Heels' loss, businesses on Franklin Street still came out winners. Folks made a sea of Carolina blue as they lined up to watch the game on various spots on Franklin Street, and they paid for that privilege. To watch the game at Sup Dogs, for instance, fans had to spend a minimum of $20. At He's Not, they needed to spend $10 to buy a wristband. And for Topo, some people camped out 11 hours in advance to buy an entry ticket and had to spend a minimum of $20. And these loyal Tar Heels didn't seem to mind paying those added premiums.
During the game, before the game, we were busy all day long. We had people standing outside. We opened at 11 o'clock. We had people standing outside at 11 o'clock waiting to get in.
In addition to He's Not, Topo, and Sup Dogs, there were 9 other restaurants on Franklin Street with added premiums.
When you think of tents at Duke, you normally think of that terrible place called K-ville. But now students are occupying tents outside of the Allen building in protest. They're calling it A-ville for Allen Building. Students and faculty are protesting the institutional racism they believe is happening at Duke. Last month, a parking attendant accused Duke's executive vice president, Tallman Trask, of hitting her with his car and using a racial slur. While protesters gather outside, 9 students have occupied inside Allen Building since Friday. The students have 8 demands, including Trask's dismissal. But university officials say they won't negotiate until the students leave the building voluntarily. A media liaison for the 9 students tells us they don't plan to leave.
The university sent a trigger warning email to the UNC community Tuesday in advance of a graphic anti-abortion exhibit coming to campus. The anti-abortion group Genocide Awareness Project brought its display to Polk Place in front of Wilson Library. The group says its mission is to educate college students by juxtaposing images of aborted fetuses with victims of genocides. UNC student group Carolina Students for Life sponsored the exhibit, which sparked emotions on both sides of the abortion debate.
People might be upset, but this is what's going on. We should be more upset by the fact that people are being decapitated and dismembered, the most innocent of all Americans, versus actually seeing pictures.
To see gory images of the Holocaust is really emotionally disturbing to me, even when it's in the context of a Holocaust museum. So to see it in the middle of my campus when I'm just trying to walk to class and not have to think about this horribly traumatizing thing.
The university says counseling and psychological services is on standby to help any students who might be disturbed by that display.
Well, on a bit lighter note, what's in your shake?
Find out why some are concerned about the supplement industry.
More than 100 corporate executives have signed a letter and sent it to Governor Pat McCrory in opposition to House Bill 2. The letter demands a repeal of HB 2, and major companies such as PayPal and Google Ventures have withdrawn business from North Carolina until that happens. PayPal ended plans Tuesday to establish an operations center in Charlotte, costing the city hundreds of jobs. The university planned to launch an inclusion and diversity climate survey, but postponed it because of the controversy surrounding House Bill 2. A UNC spokesperson says the university wants to better understand how HB 2 will affect the campus before moving ahead with the survey.
The UNC School of Education is ending most undergraduate programs, but Haley Ray tells us administrators hope that could be a win-win for students and the school.
Carly Donovan is a senior in UNC's School of Education.
I've just always liked kids.
As an early childhood development major, she spends her weekdays as an assistant teacher in a pre-K classroom. But future education students might not have the same opportunities. The school is ending its undergraduate programs after this year. Donovan says she's witnessed a high teacher turnover rate.
We had a job fair, and there's like a lot of schools, and it's nice because like there are a lot of positions open. So like coming into it, there's a lot of options and a lot of opportunities to do more. It just like depends on what age you want and like things like that. But I guess it's bad because there's a lot of teachers leaving, and that's why there's always positions.
Assistant Dean Diana Lease says there's been a drop in enrollment, but they're expecting more interest because of a new program.
We've had really great response to the new BA MAT model, and so we look forward to engaging with those students as they're freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and then have them join us in the MAT program where they'll do their teacher preparation.
In addition to the bachelor's master's program, the school is also offering an undergraduate minor in education. Lease says the school is aiming to shift the attitude about education towards seeing it as a long-term career pathway.
Teaching is not just one stop, it can really be a journey.
Donovan will begin that journey when she graduates in May and begins working in North Carolina. In Chapel Hill, I'm Haley Ray reporting.
Liz says the School of Education has not laid off any faculty members because of those changes.
A public school in Chapel Hill is going global, giving its students a chance to graduate fluent in more than just English. Jacqueline Lee reports.
These kids are learning a new language. Chinese.
Research has showed the benefit of teaching bilingual to children at a very young age.
Jenny Zhao teaches 5th grade, but it's not your ordinary homeroom. Half the class is taught in Chinese.
It's always amazed me to see how those young minds there grow.
Here at Glenwood Elementary, you can start taking Chinese as early as kindergarten.
Now he's in 8th grade, and last year he was able to go on a school trip to China, and he was one of 2 kids in the group that could speak Chinese.
These kinds of interactions with China are key. It's why 9 other public schools across the state have this program, starting early and planning for the long haul.
The roles China play in the global market, I think people have to see there are big opportunities there for their children's future.
你们喜欢韩语吗?
喜欢.
In Chapel Hill, I'm Jacqueline Lee reporting, or as I should say, 我叫李嘉玲，再见，谢谢.
About 400 students have taken or are currently in the program at Glenwood Elementary.
A recent survey says half of Americans use supplements in a given year, and that number includes many powerlifters at UNC. But it's what's in those supplements that's causing some second thoughts. Medical reporter Malika Rakman-Koliva tells us more.
Powerlifter Mac Waters uses supplements as part of his workout regimen.
Creatine, protein powder on days where I don't think I've hit my protein requirement for the day, and caffeine.
Waters now looks at supplements differently after having taken a protein powder made by MuscleTech. The manufacturer settled a class action lawsuit after many customers claimed the company misrepresented the protein content of some of its products.
I would definitely say do your research and don't just ask bros in the gym what they take.
UNC nutritionist Dr. Martin Kohlmeyer cautions supplements may also contain ingredients not listed on the bottle.
Sometimes there are contaminations. Other times, other ingredients, even medications, such as painkillers or steroids, have been added.
This study by Canadian researchers found that nearly 1 in 3 supplements had none of the ingredients listed on the bottle, but something else in its place. Researchers also found some of the herbal products contained fillers that were not listed on the labels.
Now, anybody doing competitive sports has to recognize that many of these supplements simply are not safe. So if there's any kind of drug testing, they cannot be surprised that suddenly they come up positive.
That's why Carolina Barbell president Jonah Howell carefully considers supplements he uses and says he's wary of fads.
Generally, my philosophy is that supplementation isn't nearly as necessary as we think it is. Probably 6 or 7 months out of the year, I use none of them.
Unlike prescription drugs, the FDA doesn't test for the safety of supplements before they're on the market. In Chapel Hill, I'm Malika Rakman-Kulova reporting.
Estimates of the supplement industry's revenue vary, but experts say it's in the billions of dollars.
Every Tar Heel fan could use some cheering up right about now, and as usual, Ramsey's came in clutch. UNC's favorite blue-horned ram is a proud papa once again. Ramsey's mate Stella welcomed 2 sons, Marvin and Ollie, into the world 2 weeks ago. This is Stella's 3rd lambing. She had triplets the first 2 times. These 2 are still figuring out the world, but should be at Kenan Stadium before too long.
The sun is out today, flowers are blooming, but April showers are coming soon.
Matt Jones tells us when to pack your umbrella, coming up next.
Hey, thanks for joining us back in the Weather Center. I'm senior meteorologist Matt Jones for your Carolina Week weather. So this morning, if you were up pretty early, you saw a really cold start to the morning. Observed low right at 29 degrees, which we didn't hit the record low for today, April 6th at 28 degrees, set back in 2004, but still cold enough to initiate a freeze warning. So what does a freeze warning particularly say? It means that this time of year we should have warmer temperatures, but we got down below 32 degrees. It happened from 2 a.m. until 9 a.m. this morning. So as a college kid, why do we really need to know about damaging blooming flowers as well as early crops? Well, let me put it in this way. If we have too many freeze warnings and we have too many crops that die, these are the early crops such as our peaches and our strawberries, that will drive up the prices the next time you go to the grocery store, or that fruity smoothie you like or that fruity beverage at Starbucks could have an extra added bonus or extra money that is added to the cost over the next couple of weeks. So we want to keep an eye out in case we have a few more freeze warnings. So why do we get so cold? Well, we call it radiational cooling, but really what it is just cloud cover. Last night we saw a low at 29 degrees. Tonight we're just getting down just to 51 degrees. Well, why does that happen? Well, the sun heats up the earth, and we all know that warm air rises, and so without cloud cover, all that warm air just rises and dissipates. But tonight, we are going to have that cloud cover, so all that warmth will kind of hit that low cloud deck, and you know what? It's going to keep things relatively nice, especially as we get into tomorrow. But today, 6 a.m. all the way to 6 p.m. currently, we saw a 30-degree temperature change, so a huge warm-up as that sun came out. And those warmer temperatures, though, are going to go away pretty quickly. If we look at our surface analysis map, we see things are relatively clear and dry for now. But if we look early tomorrow, we see a cold front coming through. And associated with that cold front are going to be some showers. So it could be a wet commute to school and to class tomorrow, and so you might want to bring a rain jacket. But as we get into Friday and that cold air, as well as all that rain lifts, we could see another cold front make it into the RDU area. So tonight we're looking at 51 degrees, showers starting just after midnight and then dissipating just around noon. And we should see some bright and sunny skies tomorrow afternoon with a high of 66 degrees. But we have to get through some rain before that gets there. Tonight, baseball, we're taking on UNC Asheville over by the baseball field. So if you're going and watching the Tar Heels take them on, you might want to bring a light jacket, even though we're not going to see those cooler temperatures too much. We're going to see some wind as well as some cold air come in as that sun goes down. So for the next 5 days, if we look tomorrow, there's our rain chance that we get. And then Friday, as the clouds decrease, so will our temperatures as we get into the lows Friday night at 35 degrees. But look at here, Saturday night, we're looking at, again, another freeze warning that could possibly take place. So we want to pay very close attention. But things are getting too much warmer as we get out of the weekend into our overnight hours. We're looking at Monday, starting off around a high of 69 degrees. But if we look towards the rest of the week, and stay tuned, we could see some temperatures back in the 60s. But before those warm temperatures come, we're going to see some very cold temperatures.
Yeah, Matt, so this morning I woke up, it was so cold. I thought it was spring. What is going on? When can we expect those warmer temperatures to come back?
Very good question.
Yeah, so long term, definitely going to warm up. But right now, we're going to see the cold temperatures just for this weekend.
I can't wait.
I can plant flowers soon. I'm very excited.
Very soon.
Thanks, Matt.
No problem.
Well, they were the two shots heard around the world.
We break down the last seconds of the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Coming up next.
Welcome back to Carolina Week. I'm Kendra Douglas with Sports. The last play of the UNC Villanova game was devastating for Carolina fans. Here's a reminder of exactly what happened in those last overwhelming seconds that definitely broke my heart. UNC had contained Villanova for just 4.7 seconds to force overtime. Carolina forced Villanova to inbound the ball at the opposite free throw line. Chris Jenkins inbounds the ball to Ryan Archidiacono, who brings it up the court. Daniel Chefu clips Joel Berry on a screen, and Jenkins has plenty of breathing room to get a shot off. with just 0.8 of a second left on the clock, and the rest is history. You can see the space Jenkins has to shoot. Isaiah Hicks just misses the ball, and that's the ball game.
Chris is their best three-point shooter, and he got a pretty clean look for whatever reason. But, you know, there's 75 possessions in the game, and they just happen to get the last one and make the shot.
The baseball team brought some much-needed positivity to Chapel Hill on Tuesday. The 11th-ranked Heels thumped the Panthers at Baltimore Stadium. The 11th-ranked Heels thumped the Panthers, and with a 5-run first inning, Carolina locked up the lead and then thwarted with any effort for a high point to get back in the game, and the Heels kept up the offensive pressure. On defense, Hunter Williams matched a career high on the mound with 7 strikeouts, sending the Panthers packing. Final score 8-1. And you can catch the Heels in action tonight against UNC Asheville at 6 in Chapel Hill. Then go to the Bosch or watch on ESPN3 as they take on Virginia Tech in a home series this weekend. Carolina is currently ranked 11th in the country. Deep down, I think we secretly wish we were all athletes. Peyton Walker gives us a how-to for making that dream one step closer to reality.
Are you tired of being a NARP? Well, stress no longer, you non-athletic regular people of UNC, because I, Peyton Walker, have gone undercover to prepare a tutorial for you in which you will learn the basics of athletic swag. I'm standing here with first-year rower Margaret High, who's going to help us out with step number 1, and that is the gear.
So first, what I'm going to show you is a pullover. And this is what's important for this pullover, the logo. So here we have some really good sweatpants. It reminds you of the bed that you never get to sleep in. The tell-all, this is what everyone has. If you're an athlete, you have the shoes. To my right here is Track Star COAs, and he's going to be helping us out with step number 2, and that is the walk.
No. You're not there. You're not there. Yeah, keep your shoulders back. And, you know, just walk like you're the only person who's walking. Maybe a head nod to another crew you see walking your way, and, you know, you keep moving.
I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Bell third. I've been getting dirty money, Jordan Bell third.
All right, so I'm here in Keenan Stadium with receiver Taylor Vipolis, and he's going to help us with step number 3, and that is the lingo.
Our nutritionist will give us those green Gatorade bottles, and we refer to those as GGBs. While most students go to the library, we go to Loudermilk, or we call that Loudy or
Looks like I need to get my swag on. Thanks, Kendra.
Thanks, Kendra.
Well, a hole in the ground made life a whole lot easier for one Jamaican community.
We'll tell you how some folks are splashing in to profit.
Jamaica's tourism industry attracts millions of travelers yearly.
Our Anique Joseph visited the country and found a hidden gem that keeps bringing tourism dollars into the hands of locals.
What once started as a mysterious dark hole created by nature in the deep woods of Jamaica is now a beautiful attraction that's benefiting a local community.
People just look at it. People used to be scared of it.
What Wubba is talking about is this, a hole that's 25 feet from the ledge. It isn't always a pretty blue color.
You could barely see the water, that's for sure.
Locals discovered the natural spring in 2005. It had been there for years.
The thing about it, nobody has never used it. And the first guy who jumped in was my dad.
Wubba's son, Anthony Donadez, was 9 years old when the project to capitalize on the spring began.
And they started the road, come inside, then started the pool, the bar.
Adults and kids from the community banded together to complete this 9-year project. Donadez says after his first dive, he was addicted.
Doing stunts, handstand, roll over, dive.
Something visitor Janelle Adams has no plans on doing. She's sticking to a small hop into the hole.
I feel excited. I feel like accomplished.
Not only is the Blue Hole Mineral Spring a place people can now enjoy, it's a place that creates jobs for locals. Jamaica continues to face social issues that affect youth, such as high level of crime and violence and high unemployment. In 2015, the unemployment rate was more than 13%, with a much higher rate for adolescents, at close to 31%. 100% of the people who work here are from the Westmoreland community. And Waba says this is the best thing that's happened to this community. The more the attraction grows, the more jobs will be available, something Waba is proud he helped create.
Wake up to this every day and it's like there is nowhere else on earth I would rather be than here, you know?
Waba and his business partner plan to build a private pool for his hotel guests and a big water slide at the Blue Hole in Westmoreland, Jamaica. I'm Monique Joseph reporting.
Oh my goodness, that looks terrifying.
She is so brave.
Yeah, she is.
I don't think I could do that. You honestly could not pay me to jump off that ledge.
I don't think so. Not for 25 feet in the air. Well, thanks so much for watching. That does it for this edition of Carolina Week.
Good night, everyone.